Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Viman AI podcast. Today I have with me Pulkit Mundra. He's right now in Dallas, working there for a good MNC. I'll request. He's a college junior. I would request Pulkit to just give a quick brief introduction about himself.
Yeah, thanks for introducing me, Hardik. I am basically a junior of Hardik. I did my bachelor's from IIT Roorkee in 2022, and then directly came here for my master's at Purdue University. So basically, I wanted to I did my bachelor's in industrial engineering, and there I came across a topic of operation research. So I wanted to do some exploration in that dimension. I took several OR courses here. I also explored machine learning, and then post my masters, I did join Goldman Sachs in Dallas in the position of quant strategist, and I'm currently working there.
Super, Pulkit. Uh, Pulkit, how long have you been
Yes,
in USA right now?
I think almost 3.5 years, like 2 years masters and 1.5 years with job.
Very interesting. How did you decide your master's topic in general? Let's say you both of us come from production and industrial background, right?
Yes, yes,
And I think there are multiple fields. You can go towards supply chain, you can go towards operations management, you can go towards a different kind of optimization.
yes,
How did you decide?
yes,
कहाँ पर
yes.
करना है? What was the thought process?
So basically, initially when I joined Roorkee, I wanted to I know somewhere in my mind that I just don't want to stop at bachelor's. And I want to do masters, or maybe I'm not sure. Somewhere maybe MBA was also an option, and other things I
Right.
see my other classmates are preparing for UPSC as well. So I just I started exploring my interests from around first year itself and trying different things.
Okay.
Matlab, I at that point of time, because I was studying industrial engineering, so and we had so many courses common with mechanical engineering.
Right.
First, I started exploring mechanical design, using all those software like SolidWorks, ANSYS, and then I also did some kind of a project with Design Innovation Center around
Right.
in second year. And then COVID happened, and we were still doing the project, but at
Mhm.
certain point of time I realized that this design maybe I will pursue more as a hobby, but as a career path, I don't think this is my forte. So
Right.
then in third year I came across a course of operation research. So basically everything revolves around mathematics there, and then
Right.
it actually caught my eye that just after that course I approached a professor and did kind of a small internship there, where I worked on a problem known as circle packing problem. And
Hmm.
then after that internship I realized that I wanted to learn more and more about this field. And at that point I decided that let's try to do masters in operation research. Now the thing is, when you apply for the masters in operation
Hmm.
research, you background in industrial engineering definitely helps, but also you need to have some good mathematics courses, like statistics courses, probability courses. And our curriculum lacked that, in
Hmm.
Roorkee. We in general the industrial engineering curriculum, it only has 2 or 3 maths courses, and that too at very basic levels. So then what? So some of the colleges, like Georgia Tech is one of the best college in IE and OR. So
Correct.
they offer different masters in IE and OR. But some
Oh,
colleges they offer just masters in industrial engineering. But you can select a concentration operation research. You can select the courses like that. So
right.
I did apply for both. In some places I applied for OR, where OR degree was present. In other places I applied for IE. So for example, in University of Michigan, Purdue University, University of Wisconsin Madison, Penn State University, these are the 4 university which I received admit from. So
Interesting.
basically these, yeah, so all of these admits were in IE only, because definitely because my background was IE, so getting into IE was much easier. And in terms of OR, at the places where I applied for OR, I didn't receive an admit directly. So I then selected that, because there was two final choices. One was University of Michigan and one was Purdue University,
Right.
and both of them were quite good university in terms of industrial engineering and operation research, both coming under top 10 in US News ranking.
Hmm.
So I talked to several seniors in both of these universities, like in University of Michigan and Purdue University. And then I realized that like choice of university doesn't matter that much, because my main ask was like, how is the job opportunities after you graduate from this particular university? And then I realized that like people here, they don't discriminate much on the basis of your university, but like what you have done in your like 2 years during masters here, like what, like if you have done some research in that field, if you, what kind of courses you have taken, if you have done any internship or co-op during that time, so that matters more. And then like a senior from University of Michigan, like he told me that you cannot go wrong at any of the places, so just select whatever you want. And then I realized that like maybe University of Michigan was almost twice the cost of Purdue University. So let's say like, and you know it's already very costly to pursue
Right.
masters in US. So then I and yeah, like, and then like I decided to go to Purdue University because like I like the place, I like the like course and curriculum, and like also I have much flexibility in my curriculum to choose courses here and there. And
Right.
being a public university, I did have like an entire year of like funding in Purdue University, like the TAship. So I just had to pay for like first year, second year I was funded by the university for my master.
Very interesting. So you're saying that you can do a TAship during your masters as well. तो
Yes,
actually
right.
की मास्टर्स का कॉस्ट की बजाय आपको एक ही साल का पड़ा बिकॉज यू वर एबल टू अर्न ऑल्सो.
Yes, yes, yes. इनफैक्ट जो सेकंड ईयर का कॉस्ट रहता है, मतलब apart from if you are a TA, they pay for your tuition fees, and second they also give you like much sufficient stipend so that like your living expense, even you can end up saving something. Getting TAship is like a very good thing at like any
Very
public
interesting.
university in US.
Very
I'm not-
interesting.
yeah.
So let's break down that entire journey, right? I think
Yes, yes.
one thing that I would want to understand first is you said you're a graduate of which year? 2022.
From IIT Roorkee, yeah, 2022.
Right, 2022.
And from-
That
yeah.
means so you
Yes.
would have graduated in during April or May 2022. When
Yes,
did you
right.
start applying? When did you
Yes,
start
I
applying to
did-
these universities? You got admits from one of the best four universities of the world, right? So
Yes.
when did you start applying?
So basically, like I did know I started preparing for my GRE in around September or something.
Okay.
And then I did give my GRE and TOEFL in October. And then the deadlines. This is the October of like the
21.
year, like the previous year. Yeah,
21 का October हो. Understood.
Yeah, 21 का October. So then at that time application deadlines, कुछ यूनिवर्सिटीज की 15th नवंबर होती हैं, कुछ की 31st नवंबर, कुछ की 15 दिसंबर, एंड मोस्टली लाइक 31st दिसंबर तक ऑलमोस्ट सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज की डेडलाइन होती है मास्टर्स.
तो बेसिकली नेक्स्ट ईयर अगर आपको जाना है यूएस में मास्टर्स करने के लिए तो आप प्रीवियस ईयर मतलब अगर मेजर इनटेक की तरफ देख रहे हो प्रीवियस ईयर नवंबर दिसंबर तक सारी एप्लीकेशन डेडलाइंस खत्म हो चुकी होती हैं, राइट?
हाँ, खत्म हो
GRE score would you need to get into these universities?
I guess like in previous times GRE was of much important to university, but once COVID happened, I guess university they like start looking at other factors rather than GRE scores. So like in my opinion, any score above 310 315 is like sufficient enough. A good GRE score may be like above 320 or 325, like that's a good GRE
Understood.
score.
How much did you score?
Yeah, I guess like I actually didn't remember the exact score, but somewhere in between 320 to 325, I guess.
320 to 325 something. I think that's a that this kind of a score would get you in the best university.
Yes.
Now-
Because like at my time, many of the universities, the GRE wasn't even requirement. The most important thing is like the first thing they look at is your CGPA, resume, and then finally like your statement of purpose, like SOP. That's the one of the most important things.
Interesting. How did you fund? I mean, what was the plan? Did you took an education loan? I see a lot of students taking loans for doing masters, right? There are in a couple of universities, maybe not in the top universities, there are paid PhD programs as well. You pay to the
Yes.
university to get into the PhD, right?
Yes.
What are the general cost outlines, and I mean, how did you finance it?
So basically, like I took education loan from ICICI Bank, and even like there are a lot of other options as well. I first took it from Bank of Baroda, but then what happened is like their processing takes some time, and like when you are in US, you want funds to be get like transferred without much of an hassle. So
Right.
then I saw that like, and I also one more thing, like these like public banks, they generally don't offer you like non-collateral loan. They generally don't offer you non-collateral loan. They
Right.
want
They would
some
ask for
sort of
collateral.
collateral. Yes, and I was looking for a non-collateral loan at that point of time. So I went to ICICI and I also checked the rate with HDFC. So ICICI seemed a better option at my time. So I took an education loan from ICICI, and most probably like by like this March or something, like I started repaying it off like the previous March, and most probably I'm hoping to get it done by this March.
Right. Very interesting. Pulkit, you've studied from one of the best institutes in India, right? You have done your bachelor's. You have graduated from one of the best universities of the world as well in USA. What were the key differences that you came across in terms of, let's say, the crowd mix, in terms of how the education was being imparted? I mean, the entire culture of the university. How were the two universities different in your perspective?
So first of all, in my perspective, like let's start this thing by like when you want to like when you apply for an US university, I don't think like your bachelor's college matters to much extent.
Okay.
The most thing that they also look into, like because in US this is the general perception, they look into what you have done in your 4 years at college. Like in terms of advantage, you have an advantage of your alumni group that helps you to like understand the requirements of that university. Like because I'm from IIT Roorkee, I definitely had a very good alumni association here as well in India as well, which helped me to like to the entire process. Like I have so many persons to ask different doubts from.
Right.
But in terms of like getting into a college, I think in like I have seen my all of my classmates in Purdue as well as like from the different like fields as well. Like I know some of the members in computer science who were doing masters in CS and as well as different field. So I realized that like they were like just from like even from tier 2 or tier 3 college, but
Okay.
like they have a good background of like good CGPA, like they have good projects in like throughout their like bachelors, which helped them to get into Purdue University. So like that's the one of the thing that like I don't think that graduate college matters to much extent when it comes to the like admission into a foreign university. In terms of in terms of college mix, you can see like mostly masters or PhD programs here are like typically 80 or 90% like students are either from India or either from China, and like yeah, and also in these big university like there is like a very good variety in terms of bachelors as well. Like they come from many different countries. Like I saw people that in from different countries, like from Nigeria, from Pakistan, from India, from Bangladesh, Spain, from Brazil. Like, for example, in India, you go to college, you like first difference is like the mix, like culture, like it's mostly Indians. Here in the university, even in bachelors, it's like not all of them are Americans. There are like at least 50-60% of the people that are non-Americans. In my opinion, कि जब आपका इतना varied batch होता है, तो you get to like learn a lot. Basically, first of all, you get to like know different cultures and how to respect them as well. पहली चीज से ये होती है. Second, मतलब because मतलब ऐसा exposure आपको मतलब of course इंडिया के कॉलेज में नहीं. You get to know like इंडिया में it's very मतलब very hard for a student to pursue his career, for example in agriculture engineering or something like textile engineering, something or biological engineering. People are able to pursue their career in these fields passionately because they have many opportunities. Professors different research कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. इनफैक्ट यहाँ इन स्पेसिफिक फील्ड्स में फंडिंग भी बहुत अच्छी मिल रही है. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि मतलब गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट नहीं कर रही है टू स्टडी इन दिस फील्ड. तो सेकंड ये होता है कि यार यहाँ पे मोर फ्रीडम है एज कम्पेयर टू कि व्हाट यू आपका एक्चुअल पैशन क्या है उसको परस्यू करने दे रहे हैं. इनफैक्ट कॉलेजेस भी ऐसे ही डिजाइन होते हैं कि यू आर एबल टू फाइंड कि आपका अल्टीमेटली इंटरेस्ट किसके अंदर है, कि भाई आपको क्या फील्ड ज़्यादा कर रहा है. इंडिया में बहुत मतलब ऐसा है कि आई हैव सीन मोस्ट ऑफ माई बैचमेट्स जो इंडस्ट्रियल इंजीनियरिंग से पढ़े हुए हैं, दे आर डूइंग सॉफ्टवेयर और द जॉब्स मोस्टली. लाइक दे आर आइदर लाइक डूइंग मशीन लर्निंग और सॉफ्टवेयर जॉब. बट यहाँ पे आई हैव सीन पीपल फ्रॉम लाइक मैकेनिकल बैकग्राउंड, दे आर परस्यूइंग देयर करियर इन मैकेनिकल ओनली. इनफैक्ट जो करियर फेयर्स होते हैं यहाँ पे, मतलब यहाँ पे थोड़ा डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट होता है. इंडिया में तो ऐसा होता है कि कंपनीज प्लेसमेंट के
करेक्ट।
हैं, हम ऐसा करते हैं, एंड देन इफ यू वांट टू अप्लाई यू कैन जस्ट स्कैन दिस क्यूआर कोड और गो टू दिस वेबसाइट एंड देन फाइंड द पोस्टिंग एंड अप्लाई डायरेक्टली. सो यहाँ पे वैसा कल्चर नहीं है कि यहाँ पे आ रही है, यहाँ पे रिक्रूटमेंट टेस्ट कैंपस में हो रहे हैं, देन उसके बाद इंटरव्यू भी हो रहे हैं. यहाँ पे मोस्टली एवरीथिंग ऑनलाइन ही रहती है, अप्लाई भी ऑनलाइन हो रहा है, रिक्रूटमेंट टेस्ट भी ऑनलाइन हो रहा है. तो सेल ऑफ करने आ रही है इन करियर फेयर. एंड मैंने रियलाइज किया है कि देयर इज a lot of opportunities even in the fields of manufacturing. Like जब career fair में companies आई, तो in fact for tech jobs it was less as compared to manufacturing jobs.
Manufacturing in USA, that is a little counterintuitive actually.
Yeah, I mean, but like yeah, I'm just giving you the gist of it that like in every field there are ample of opportunities in my opinion. उसके according I guess मतलब more freedom है यहाँ पे इंडिया के curriculum के, मतलब यही take है. मतलब अगर आप education का जो difference है.
So Pulkit, I think we've spoken a lot on, how the application works, what are the timelines, typically financing कैसे होती है, and what are the key differences. I think a lot of these kinds of information are also available to most of the people who are planning, right? Who are planning to come and study abroad in, either one of the best colleges or to other universities also. There are a lot of private universities, private colleges in USA where students come and study. Right?
Yes.
What I would like to ask you is, there are obviously there's a lot of aspiration in India also of the students who want to come into USA and study.
Yes.
What are some things that you would want to recommend to them in terms of, let's say, to be ready, to be mentally prepared? ऐसा क्या होता है वहाँ पर, क्या अलग है? Or maybe if some incident has happened with you that would have helped you prepare a little better.
Like, let me put some different into this thing. So first of all, जो what I think is like, as in like maybe international student जब यहाँ पे आते हैं, you have so many restrictions on a lot of things. Like for example, even when you apply to a job, there is only a certain number of companies which hire international student because of visa issue thing. So first of all this thing. तो मतलब इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग रहती है वो ये रहती है कि आई गेस लाइक लेट मी टॉक अबाउट इन टर्म्स ऑफ हेल्थ केयर एज वेल. बिकॉज इंडिया में क्या होता है, बहुत इजीली अप्रोच होता है डॉक्टर को. मतलब कि आपको कुछ हुआ है, यू जस्ट नीड टू शो अप एट अ सर्टेन डॉक्टर. यहाँ पे बेसिकली इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू गेट एन इवन अपॉइंटमेंट विद अ डॉक्टर. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, of course ki in case of emergency you go to like a hospital directly and then they deal with you there. Like again with the insurance, going to an emergency is costly. If you have a like small thing like for example cold हो गया, cough हो गया, stomach aches हो गया, normal healthy चीज,
you can go to an take an over the counter medicine and then eat it.
Yes. तो basically पे भी over the counter medicine available रहती हैं, you can eat it. The thing is कि वन पॉइंट के अगर आपको हल्की सी भी मतलब कि किसी स्पेशलिस्ट की नीड है या डॉक्टर के पास जाना है, हाँ लेट्स सपोज डॉक्टर के पास जाना है, तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल होता ही है कि पहले आप अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करते हो उस डॉक्टर का. वो अपॉइंटमेंट मैं बता रहा हूँ कि मेरे साथ कैसा हुआ था. दिसंबर ऑफ 2023 मेरे को एक स्पेशलिस्ट के पास जाना था. एंड देन आई बुकड एन अपॉइंटमेंट. मैं गया उसके पास, उसने मेरे कुछ मतलब कि ये टेस्ट लिखे, उस टेस्ट के लिए अलग मतलब अपॉइंटमेंट एक और बुक करना. अब नाउ वो फॉलो अपॉइंटमेंट लेना है मेरे को उस टेस्ट के बाद. अब आप डॉक्टर को रिपोर्ट दिखाने जाओगे, वो फॉलो अपॉइंटमेंट मेरे को 1 महीने बाद. तो 1 महीने बाद का टेस्ट करा के तो आज अगर किसी चीज से प्रॉब्लम हो रही है तो आई थिंक मतलब यहाँ का जो हेल्थ इवन मतलब सेम थिंग कि मैं अपनी मतलब मेरी मैनेजर जो है अभी करंट कंपनी, शी इज ऑल्सो फ्रॉम एशिया ओनली. उनसे भी मैं ये डिस्कस कर रहा था तो उनका भी सेम टिक था. वो तो यहाँ पे ऑलमोस्ट 20-25 ईयर्स से है. मतलब उनका भी मेन ये था कि मोस्टली जो हेल्थ केयर है इज क्वाइट लाइक इनअप्रोचेबल हियर एज कंपेयर्ड टू लाइक.
दैट इज the same for the US citizens also, that same for the international immigrants also, for everybody. This is the system there.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. This
most
thing
likely
is,
this is the system that you need to book an appointment with the doctor. He will write some tests. You go and get those tests done. Then you book a follow-up appointment. You never know if that follow-up will be in 2 days, 20 days, or it will take a month or so.
So mostly what happens is डॉक्टर क्या करते हैं, यहाँ के डॉक्टर हफ्ते में केवल एक दिन रखते हैं कि केवल इसी दिन में फॉलोअप का लूंगा और किसी भी दिन में फॉलोअप का नहीं लूंगा. तो अगर मान लो कि हफ्ते में एक दिन में वो सारे स्लॉट्स बुकड है उसके, तो आपको सीधा नेक्स्ट वीक जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं हो कि नेक्स्ट डे में उसका नॉर्मल अपॉइंटमेंट का स्लॉट खाली है तो यू कैन गो एंड जस्ट डू द फॉलोअप. तो यहाँ पे डिफरेंस आ जाता है। तो यही मतलब मेरे केस में भी यही था कि उसके पास था नहीं अपॉइंटमेंट वाली चीज़ है। देन मतलब मैंने वेट में रखा कि मान लो इफ समवन कैंसिल सब तो मेरा हो जाए, तो लकीली आई गॉट अपॉइंटमेंट मंथ। बट ये थोड़ा सा है। तो मतलब एक पॉइंट ये हो गया हेल्थ केयर का। सेकंड पॉइंट हो गया कि जो कल्चरल डिफरेंस यहाँ पे लगता है, यहाँ पे ये होता है कि यार मतलब इन जनरल जो मतलब यहाँ पे इनफैक्ट जो इंडिया से भी लोग आते हैं और जो यहाँ पे अमेरिकन से, लाइक दे आर लाइक टू मच लाइक वो अपने में रहने वाली आदत सी है कि एक ही वो क्या बोलते हैं अपने मोस्ट ऑफ द मतलब ऐसे कि अराउंड 8 और समथिंग इन द इवनिंग तो सब कुछ ऐसे मतलब सुनसान हो जाता है ना, ऐसा कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा, रोड पे आपको कोई जना नहीं दिख रहा है, खाली हो रहा है, इनफैक्ट यू आर स्केयर्ड टू गो आउट फॉर अ वॉक। मतलब इंडिया में ऐसा लगता है कि इवनिंग स्टार्ट्स,
अभी
सब
तो
लोग घर से
ऑफिस
निकल रहे
छोटा
हैं वॉक
होता
पे
है,
जा रहे
अभी तो
हैं।
लोग
हाँ, अभी तो
हैवी
ऑफिस छोटा
पहुंच
होता
रहे
है।
हैं, दी एंटायर रोड्स आर ब्लॉक्ड।
तो यहाँ तो मोस्टली शोरूम शॉप्स इवन रेस्टोरेंट्स मतलब
सब बंद हो जाता है
मतलब
8
जो
बजे
हाँ मतलब कि 8 or 9 दे क्लोजेस, लाइक सम ऑफ देम आर ओपन टिल लाइक 11 or 12, बट दैट आर एट मैक्स हियर ही चीज़ है। सो मैं अभी डेलस में हूँ, तो डेलस में ऑफ कोर्स वहाँ पे देयर आर लॉट ऑफ नंबर ऑफ इंडियन रेस्टोरेंट्स बिकॉज डेलस इज़ अ वेरी गुड इंडियन कम्युनिटी। तो वहाँ
राइट।
पे जरूर कुछ कुछ रेस्टोरेंट्स में भी 1 or 2 तक खुले रहते हैं ऐसी
हाँ,
चीज़ें, बट यस। सेकंड एक रहता है कि आप इंडिया में हो स्विगी फॉर जस्ट लाइक गेट एनीथिंग वेरी इजी
कॉलेज में भी यूज किया होगा
लाइक
यार, मैं यू वुड हैव यूज्ड जोमेटो एंड स्विगी इन कॉलेज एज वेल,
यस
आई एम श्योर।
यस यस। यहाँ पे भी है, यहाँ पे भी जैसे
करेक्ट। डज ग्रैब वर्क
यहाँ पे
देयर?
ग्रैब,
ग्रैब
देर
नहीं
इज अ
चलता होगा।
ग्रब हब, देर इज ग्रब हब,
ग्रैब,
आई डोंट नो
हाँ
अबाउट ग्रैब।
नहीं, आई थिंक इट इज
देर
डिफरेंट, ग्रैब इज डिफरेंट। तो
ओके।
वो भी एक आई थिंक एक फूड एंड
तो मतलब उस पर्सपेक्टिव से भी कि इन जनरल मतलब कि आपको अब रात को लेट आप एज ए स्टूडेंट आए हो, रात को लेट कुछ क्रेविंग, तो यू डोंट हैव लाइक मच ऑप्शन इवन फॉर द लाइक पीपल लाइक मी और वेजिटेरियन, यू आर लाइक जस्ट यू हैव टू लाइक कुक समथिंग बाय योरसेल्फ और जस्ट ईट सम स्नैक्स, ऐसे ही सीन रहे। मतलब ये थोड़ी सी चीजें हैं कि मतलब जो इंडिया से आके एकदम फील होती है मतलब कि यू कैन नॉट ऑर्डर एनीथिंग।
करेक्ट।
सेकंड एवरीथिंग इज टू मच कॉस्टली। अगर if you just want a curry from an Indian restaurant to like if you're getting it delivered, it at least like 15 to 20 bucks, like 15 to 20 dollars।
2000
वो भी
रुपए
इतना
की
आपको
दाल दाल पड़ जाएगी।
2000 की दाल पड़ जाएगी, तो आप मंगाने से ज्यादा
मछली लेते हो।
आई विल जस्ट ईट अप एनीथिंग एंड स्लीप। एक और चीज़ है, जैसे इंडिया में ट्रैवल बहुत इजी है। इंडिया में आपको हर चीज़ के लिए मतलब 4 मोड्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन है। यू कैन टेक कैब, कैन टेक बस, ऑटो, और लाइक इवन बाइक्स भी, मतलब
करेक्ट।
बाइक्स पे भी कैब चल रही है आजकल। यू कैन डू एनीथिंग ऑफ है, और ट्रेन्स का तो बहुत अच्छा ही है
राइट।
यहाँ पे। इट्स जस्ट कि मतलब कॉलेज टाउन में फिर भी देयर आर लाइक बसेस जो इंटरनली वर्क करती है, बट कॉलेज टाउन के बाहर आपको कहीं ट्रैवल करना है, ये ऐसी चीज़ें। तो यहाँ पे ट्रेन्स तो बहुत ही कम है मतलब कि है ना। एंड सेकंड जो बसेज है वो भी काफी अनरिलायबल सी है। वी हैड अ ट्रिप प्लान ऑफ 4 people, चारों रुड़की के ही थे हम लोग। यहाँ को ऐसे 4-5 आवर्स नॉर्थ में
राइट।
एक जगह विस्कॉन्सिन डेल्स करके उधर जा रहे थे हम लोग। एंड अराउंड 7-8 AM हमारी ट्रिप स्टार्ट होने वाली है, जब बस लीव करने वाली है, हमने बुक करी है। वो अराउंड 5:30 कैंसिल हो गई है, और हमारी अब सारी बुकिंग्स है, और अब हमारे पास
हाय।
कोई भी वे नहीं है जाने का ना। वो क्या बोलते हैं, ना कोई दूसरी बस है, कोई ट्रेन चलती नहीं है, ऐसी चीज़ें। तो ओनली थिंग यहाँ पे जो फिजिबल है वो ये है कि भाई आप आओ कार ड्राइविंग सीखो, यू स्टार्ट रेंटिंग आउट कार एंड यू ड्राइव बाय योरसेल्फ।
कार यूज करके ड्राइव
दैट्स इट,
करके जाओ जहां पे जाना है, बसेस और
जहाँ पे भी जाना है।
which this is a very new insight for me. I didn't know that, at least I assumed that local public transport का जो infrastructure है वो ठीक ठाक होगा। I'm sure infrastructure होगा अभी भी, but I don't know, maybe it might just be a preference issue। तो गाड़ी यूज करना ही prefer, इसलिए बस से ट्रैवल करने वाले लोग भी बहुत कम हो, could be।
यस मैं ये मतलब दो चीज़ें होती है। एक तो ये चीज़ की मतलब ऑफ कोर्स लोग प्रेफर करते हैं कार यूज़ करना यहाँ पे, बट सेकंड थिंग ये भी होती है कि नहीं है, नेटवर्क अच्छा है ही नहीं बसेस का। और फिर
अच्छा।
थर्ड थिंग, बसेस पे ट्रैवल करना अनसेफ भी लगता है, बिकॉज लाइक मतलब whenever like I know that whenever we have tried to travel through bus, like it's always like there is some kind of like shady person और कुछ ना कुछ, there are different people that you are just concerned about। तो मेरे अकॉर्डिंग मोस्टली जो लोग प्रेफर करते हैं वो कार ही करते हैं।
Do you have an incident in your mind? Do you have an incident in your mind? कभी ऐसा हुआ हो जब बस से ट्रैवल कर रहे हो और I mean How do you spot a shady person?
So spot a shady person. So basically in US, like many things are legal. So in general, like this like all those stuff like which comes under smoking and then those things. So mainly like whenever you get into a bus, like you there's a smell inside bus, you can just tell that yeah, there are a lot of people who are like smoked a pot or something. Yeah. And this feeling is constant, like any bus. Like it's not
Any
like
bus across US.
yeah, yeah, across USA. Like in my experience, I've experienced this in Purdue, West Lafayette, then Chicago, and then Dallas. Three
हाँ.
experienced about. So apart from this thing, second thing ये होती है कि मोस्टली जो होमलेस होते हैं वो भी बस में ही बैठे होते हैं अपना पूरा सामान के साथ. तो then you spot कि हाँ, this is the homeless guy.
Oh.
So that makes it like shady. So this is how you get to know कि okay. Whenever you feel unsafe, then next day you even like prefer taking a cab or Uber even for just like two miles some kind of travel rather than going through a bus. वैसा सही रहता. So in fact during the night time, like just after sunsets, is like in Chicago or Dallas, people don't like they don't even use trains or bus like up to that extent, like very minimal, because like it's always unsafe using these transport. You will,
Apparently
like
there
in
is
Chicago
this
train. Yes, yes.
Sorry to interrupt you on this. Apparently, there is this image in my head, or at least in general, that a lot of these countries, specifically USA, is ultra safe.
Yes.
Doesn't matter where you are, when do you go to street or not. I mean, what you are saying is actually really countering that thought in my head right now. कि भाई वहाँ पर इतना बुरा
No.
हाल है, better तो at least India के अंदर लोग streets पर, and you know there
Yes.
is
नहीं, yeah.
still some sense of कि ठीक है, कोई ना कोई ढंग का बंदा मिलता
No, I don't think so कि मतलब US is like like ultra safe or something to live. Like I have lived in Dallas and Chicago, and I know that even it's very unsafe to go in. Like downtown is a region in any city where like most of the big buildings are, where most of the like
है.
good restaurants are, and then like something goes around happening there. And I know that I am scared myself to go to these places even after 10 or 11, because like there's multiple news of having like maybe gunshots. Like gun culture is very common in
Absolutely.
US.
मतलब there is very liberal gun laws
Yeah.
from what I understand.
Yeah.
आप रख सकते हो अगर आपको रखनी हो तो कोई
Yes, yes. So
very
well,
surprising.
so like in my opinion, I don't feel much safe wandering around these areas like once like it's 9 or 10. So like, but that's not the case for India. Like at least I can see some people walking on the street. I feel safe, more familiar.
But I think I was speaking to somebody and they also reiterated the closer you are to the campus, I mean the more safe you would generally feel because the crowd is very similar.
Yes, yes,
There are a lot of students वो पढ़ने के लिए आए हुए हैं है ना. The lesser you are
yes,
involved in a lot of external things, the better it is, at least for the study tenure, right? Now Pulkit, I want to understand, did you do any part-time jobs there when you were studying for your masters?
yes, yes. So I was lucky to get a good kind of part-time job. For
Okay.
example, like in my part-time job, I don't have to leave my house much. So I was a grader of a certain course. So like just after when like this like fall session here starts in like around August or September in most of the universities here. So I was lucky to find a grader job and starting from mid half of the first semester, like from October or something. So what happens is कि in grader it's an hourly pay. So mostly क्या होता है कि once जो मान लो कि आपको एक कोर्स असाइन हुआ है, जैसे ही उसके असाइनमेंट सबमिट हुए हैं, तो मोस्टली जो प्रोफेसर है वो एक काइंड ऑफ आंसर की या पिछले आंसर्स जो भी मतलब से वो होंगे वो आपको दे देगा. Based on that you create like marking system and then उस पे आपको grading करनी पड़ती है. तो मेरा इस टाइप का पार्ट टाइम जॉब था for from October to May, and then after that I became a full time TA. So like that's a like fixed stipend. Before that, like it depends on number of hours you're working, your income.
Right.
So I did part time mostly the grader, but yeah, like many of my like friends, they also worked into a dining hall. They also like worked into different kind of restaurants, all those things there. That's too much common also in international students. Like mostly the staff in the dining hall are made of international students only.
Right.
A good place to, like, because once you go work in a dining hall, so basically you're also getting your hourly pay, and working in a dining hall, they also like allow you to eat there for like maybe one time or twice time that day. So in
Right.
that terms you can also save some money you spend on the food, and at the same time you can like earn according to your hourly pay. So
Understood.
yes, like that's very common, like
Hence, a
doing
lot of students
part-time
would
jobs
be
is very
doing these
common.
kinds of jobs. Makes sense. How is
Yeah,
the
yeah,
situation in
almost.
USA right now? Would you recommend students coming to US? Because I'm sure you would have seen news, right? A lot of
Yes.
these green card application norms, F1 visas applications, a lot of things are getting rejected. A lot of norms are very fuzzy right now, and things are changing really fast. What is the sentiment
Yes.
of the students who are probably there right now? And how do you take this entirely?
So, if you talk about sentiments, it keeps on changing on a very regular basis. As soon as something is sad or something is just done in the news. So, but in terms of general sentiments, yeah, like after these so many like policy changes in recent time, I know many friends of mine, they are just kind of becoming fed up and just trying to look job opportunities in India as well. But
Okay.
in terms of students, I guess like there are some policy changes which are in favor, but some of them which are not in favor. For example, like this H1B change, like
Hmm.
where Trump announced that now you have to pay 100K fees if you want to get an H1B.
That is not for
But it
F1
applies.
students. It is not for
Yeah, that is
F1
not for
students. It
F1
is for
student.
in general
So
immigrants who are there directly
in
for job.
general immigrants who directly for jobs. So then because of this, like a huge number of people, they are not able to apply for H1B. So then students, they have a better shot at getting H1B.
Correct.
So this is a good thing for F1 students in my opinion. Second thing is, there has been this thing that F1 OPT period, which is I am currently on. So if you have done your degree in STEM field, basically science, technology, engineering, and so if you have done your degree in STEM field, then you are applicable for 3 years OPT period here. So
Correct.
you have 3 attempts at H1B, one each year. So there has been going around it that like Trump wants to like
Reduce the
curb
OPT time.
this reduce the OPT time. So if I look at like this, then it's definitely like, because if someone is coming and spending a lot of amount for doing their masters in US, and they are not even getting like 3 shots at H1B. So because when OPT time is reduced, like for example, if they reduce it to like 2 years or 1.5 years,
Correct.
at max you will have 2 chances to apply for H1B
Absolutely.
doctorate process. So in that case, yeah, that's pretty disadvantage. Like that's put like all of the F1 students into some kind of disadvantage. So according sentiment, I guess people are wondering कि भाई जिनको लोन लेके यहाँ पे एटलीस्ट 2-3 years जॉब करके रीपे करके एंड देन दे प्लान टू रिटर्न और मे बी लाइक दे प्लान टू स्टे उसके अकॉर्डिंगली,
Correct.
तो उनके लिए थोड़ा ये वाला जो
They are reimagining, they are rethinking कि ये करे भी ये ना करे. अच्छा, Pulkit, help me understand this entire H1B wala process. You only have 3 shots. I mean, for
yes,
anybody coming from a STEM background, doing a master's in STEM fields in
yes,
USA, you
yes,
practically get 3 H1B shots. If you don't make it,
yes,
then you have to come back. There's no other option.
right, yes,
I mean,
right.
there's no option of any company sponsoring
No.
your visa or something like that.
So like in past there has been certain like way around to this thing. For
Okay.
example, like one of the example is there is day one OPT. So if you are not able to get your like H1B in 3 attempts, then there has been this kind of turnaround that like you can join some university and then they give you the permission to work from the day one, which is known as day one OPT.
Okay.
And because of this, because you are currently enrolled in a university, so you technically have your status, your visa, and you are
Right.
able to work from the day one. So you then until that day one OPT lasts, you get like more number of attempts to H1B. So for
Okay.
example, if you are enrolled in a university of 1 year, you get one more attempt. If you are enrolled in a university of 2 year, you get two more attempts. So there has been
Understood.
this turnaround as well. But yeah, like this is not kind of like very good turnaround, because it's kind of like what I have heard, like mostly people who are not able to get H1B in 3 attempts, they generally move out of US. So for example, if companies are supportive, they maybe transfer these candidates to For example, if the like office is location its location in Canada or maybe UK or Europe or maybe
Right.
even in India, they transfer them to India and they try to apply their H1B again and again until like they have to work at that place until their H1B picks up and then they come
Understood.
back here. So like this is how it's like being done.
Interesting. Very interesting. ठीक है. I feel like that we can keep on going. We would want to keep it really short. But it was really great reconnecting with you, Pulkit. It was really great
Sure.
knowing your story, your selection process, the universities
Yes.
that you got admit from, how you completed your masters, and a lot of very interesting stories about how the buses feel there in US. So
Yes.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for sharing.
Yeah, even thanks to you too as well, Hardik, because I guess like a lot of people they don't know like many things about like how
Absolutely.
are the things in actual in US. So like this is the thing which will actually help them. So
Right.
I guess
No,
you're
so
doing a good
Pulkit,
work.
the
Yeah.
idea is to create eventually that kind of a forum where there are real people, there are real stories. It is not about
Yes.
asking somebody to make a decision or not. I mean, it's a personal choice whether you want to spend money and study abroad in USA, UK,
Yes.
Australia, etc., etc.,
Yes.
or you don't want to spend. Right? That's your call.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
think everybody, whosoever decides that, should make an informed decision. What I'm
Yes.
trying to do is at least bring that information closer so that people go through them, understand, and then make the right choices for them. So making an
Yes.
informed decision is fine. It should not be blind. That's all. That's my thought.
Yeah. Then yeah, I guess that's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, cool. Thanks a lot, Pulkit. I'm also trying to
Yeah. No
create a
problem.
community. I'll probably add you. If at all some students come to me who need to speak to you, I hope you can find some time and help them. You're already placed
Yeah,
in
sure. No.
Goldman Sachs in USA. I'm sure a lot of people would need help with, understanding how you land such kinds of jobs, what you would need to do to get into companies like this. We'll probably need another podcast video on that, and we'll plan something.
Yeah. Sure.
But
Definitely.
I
Sure.
think
Sure.
what I can do is if somebody comes, I just ping you up, right? I hope that's fine.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. That's perfectly fine.
Cool, cool, cool. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much
Uh,
for being here. Thank you so much for taking.
no. 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 No worries. Bye bye.